pleasure to introduce our moderator, who is the CIO of the State of Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity.
If you could suggest ways to improve the relationship between how CIOs and CMOs could work together to achieve better outcomes, name and explain two such ways.
You know, the one word you said in that question, Emil, I think which is important, is outcomes.
So with the definition of collaboration for me, how do I interact with my CMOs, even in Saint-Gobain or in the past I worked for Johnson & Johnson, $80 billion company. It is important that you have a vision. You said it very well. If there is no common purpose as a business case, business benefit, no CMO is going to talk to you or no CIO is going to talk to CMO.
We work sort of very closely with whether it's our IT and architecture teams who are responsible for developing these tools, as well as our customer service team. So our customer service team is on the front lines of managing that sort of customer message and interacting with those customers across a clearly wide variety of topics. Social media is a 24/7 sort of operation, and it usually is most active not during business hours when people aren't at their desks. So we work very closely with consumer services who have their own CRM tools to sort of manage a lot of those messaging. So we have trainings with them. We share sort of tone of voice guidelines and sort of how they can make sure that they're engaging and interacting with fans in the right way, because there is sort of a unique way of doing that.
So what we tend to do is focus on the breach management, planning, and containment. But to do that, you need to classify, which we are still building. You need to do a proper business impact analysis to understand what's the real meat that we need to protect.
Because that's the vocabulary of the future. And when our CIO and I all start to talk to you, we're all going to be talking about a group called ecosystem.
Testing is not just testing at that point in time. You can keep it to sleep for some time and come up to 2-3 days in check.
We've had great success with just different automated emails based on where people are in the funnel, right? Different messaging if they lightly engage with your brand, different messaging if they actually clicked on or added something to cart, and different messaging if they converted or they repurchased.
Making it successful is to create that peer dynamics of, my neighbor has done it, can I do it? And I think that propels the marketing engine. Pretty much nights, weekends, and holidays, people have off, which in the hospitality business is almost unheard of. And so we look for people who are family-oriented, for whom that's a major priority. And there are a lot of chefs that want to work at a Michelin star restaurant or whatever. That's their number one priority. A little bit harder for us to get, but sometimes the number two at Daniel Boulud's restaurant wants to be a family person, and that's how we get our best-in-class talent.
Everybody has equities, and so unless you bring all this to the table, you're not going to be able to merit the outcome that you want. And so it's understanding what the objective is, and then accepting the fact of what you really can do relative to these high standards that you may have in place.
But a big part of business driving and growth and awareness was the market research that they were doing. They were doing really nicely designed, heavily researched market research reports that ended up in a PDF. Right? People had to download it, it wasn't searchable online, they would email it out. So just the actual user base that was hitting that report was way lower than they wanted to be. So they worked with us, and now all these reports are custom websites. It's the exact same workflow that they're using to make the PDF. They haven't added any time or cost, but now it's fully searchable online, shows up in search results, easier to share, and they also have a lead gen form.
And it's a beautiful sandwich I just paid like $10 for, and I barely got it out of the foil, and a seagull came down and took the whole damn thing right out of my hands. It's a true story. I was like, ah! Right? And then the seagulls just loved me all day because I was fresh baked. And all day I was under attack. So I decided I was going to talk about, hey, if you're going to go out and talk to customers, try and sell security, you got to understand that CISOs are like they're just trying to eat their lunch at the beach. They're just trying to get their job done. And they're attacked constantly by seagulls. You got the board, I need that report. You got an auditor saying, I need that proof. You got a customer who says, I need you to do that, do that affidavit that says that you have the control in place, or that I read something in the newspaper and I want assurance that my data is not going to get hit by what I just read about in the newspaper. You've got, customer expectations. You've got all these things. And I said, each one of those things is a seagull. And all the vendors that come in and talk to you, I said, and all day long they go like this. So when you go in, I say to these people, to sell security, you're a seagull. Don't be a seagull.
Something around like phishing, for example. That is absolutely employee-based, behavioral-based. How do you get a feedback loop for what you're doing around phishing? So what we've started to do was we've taken our live examples where we've seen phishing, they haven't been successful, but where we've seen things in our company and designed our next campaign to mimic that, right? So it's things that people fell for, and then they're like, wow, that was a really good one last month. Like it was the holiday season and I got a package, So having that feedback loop with your employees actually helps us do our jobs better, and then gives us real tangible stories to tell to senior management about how it's impacting them.
They're using virtual reality with the people that are doing the inventory. So there are people doing this now wear virtual reality glasses that when they walk up to acquire things, it actually provides for them in the glasses all the information about the thing they're picking.
So stick with one topic at a time, but create separate things. I think Lego does this already in some of your advertisements. You just focus on one product. So for us, grassroots, same thing. I'm sorry, I like this. That's a cute picture to me. But.
Bring all the characters to the table and collaborate to solve. It's going to take a community to solve some of the hard challenges that are facing us and disrupting some of the industries today.
Specifically, it was really interesting to learn about how people are using data, both from a consumer standpoint, but both as well as a performance marketing standpoint. Really interesting to see what other companies and other brands are doing.
It's always good to get a perspective from the other business leaders in terms of what they're doing, what their challenges are, and how can we all integrate together.